Abrego Garcia's deportation delayed, what you need to know. Abrego Garcia's future in the U.S. remains uncertain as DOJ reaches agreement. In a significant development, lawyers representing both the Trump administration and Salvadoran migrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia have come to an agreement to keep him in U.S. criminal custody in Tennessee for an additional 30 days. This decision effectively postpones the government's previously stated intentions to deport him to a third country, at least for the time being. On Monday, in a filing presented to U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw, Abrego Garcia's legal team informed the court that this arrangement with the Justice Department would provide their client with crucial time to assess his legal options before the government attempts to remove him from the U.S. again. This potential deportation could involve sending him to a third country, possibly Mexico or South Sudan. This agreement marks a notable concession from the Trump administration, especially considering that senior officials had recently indicated to a federal judge in Maryland that they intended to immediately transfer Abrego Garcia to ICE custody following his release from federal criminal detention in Tennessee, regardless of the ongoing status of his criminal trial. Public outcry and legal maneuvering. Outside the U.S. District Court in Greenbelt, Maryland, demonstrators gathered to protest the Trump administration's actions regarding Abrego Garcia, who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador in March due to what officials described as an administrative error. This incident has sparked significant public concern and debate. Abrego Garcia's lawyers conveyed to Judge Crenshaw that the government did not oppose their request for a delay, asserting that this brief postponement would not hinder the parties' ability to discuss a proposed scheduling order or prepare for the upcoming trial. They also noted that the government would continue to provide discovery during this 30-day period, and both sides would work together on a scheduling order ahead of the July 30, 2025 deadline. Importantly, they do not foresee any changes to the trial date set for January 27, 2026, due to this delay. This 30-day extension appears to bring some clarity to a situation that has been marked by confusion and conflicting statements from the Trump administration regarding Abrego Garcia's case. After being wrongfully deported in March, he was allowed to return to the U.S. in June, but the legal battles continue. Awaiting judicial decisions. The additional time is likely a relief for Abrego Garcia's legal team, who are still awaiting a ruling from U.S. District Judge Paula Zinnes on their request to prevent ICE from deporting him to a third country immediately. Justice Department officials have acknowledged in court that they plan to remove Abrego Garcia as soon as this month. Justice Department Attorney Jonathan Gwynn emphasized that there is no intention to leave Abrego Garcia in limbo within ICE custody while the criminal case progresses. He stated, "He will be removed, as would any other illegal alien in that process." Judge Zinnes, who has been overseeing the civil case since March, indicated after a lengthy evidentiary hearing that she intends to issue a temporary restraining order. This order would require ICE to keep Abrego Garcia in custody for a specified period, likely between 48 and 72 hours, before any deportation, ensuring he has the opportunity to seek legal counsel and contest his removal. This is particularly significant given that Abrego Garcia was previously deported in violation of a court order from 2019. However, Judge Zinnes expressed her reluctance to allow an unrestricted release of Abrego Garcia, demanding full-throated assurances from the government regarding his custody and deportation. She noted that there remains a considerable gap between the current situation and her expectations for resolution. A complex legal landscape. Interestingly, the Justice Department had previously declined to agree to a stipulation proposed by Judge Zinnes, which would have mandated holding Abrego Garcia in ICE custody for 48 to 72 hours. The reasons for the shift to a longer administrative stay of 30 days remain unclear. As this case unfolds, it raises important questions about the intersection of immigration policy and legal rights. What do you think about the government's approach to deportation in this case? Is it fair to prioritize removal over due process? Share your thoughts in the comment. Abrego Garcia granted 30-day stay in Tennessee custody. What you need to know. A person's future hangs in the balance, caught between legal arguments and the urgent ticking of government processes. That's exactly where Kilmar Abrego Garcia finds himself this summer in Tennessee, as a federal court considers a critical motion that could shape the next chapter of his life. But here's where it gets controversial. While the legal battle rages on, just how much control should authorities have over someone's rights and timetable for potential deportation? Let's break it down. Recently, after discussions between Kilmar Abrego Garcia's legal team and federal authorities under the Trump administration, both sides agreed to a 30-day compromise. If the court decides not to revoke the government's motion, Abrego Garcia will remain in U.S. criminal custody in Tennessee for the next month, rather than being immediately transferred to Department of Homeland Security, DHS, custody, where removal proceedings, commonly known as deportation, would begin. For those unfamiliar with the process, this 30-day window is not a typical grace period, it's a crucial pause button, bought and filed by Garcia's attorneys, that stops the clock just long enough for Garcia and his family to breathe, think, and possibly craft a new legal strategy. His lawyers argue that with so much at stake and outcomes still uncertain, these 30 days are essential for Abrego Garcia to carefully weigh his options, consult with his attorneys, and determine whether to seek additional legal remedies. And this is the part most people miss. Even as this happens, DHS is ready to move at a moment's notice, should the government's request be granted. The government, for its part, has not objected to the request for this brief delay. According to Abrego Garcia's lawyers, 30 days is a short enough period that it shouldn't disrupt trial preparations or interfere with discussions about the case schedule. In fact, the government has committed to continuing to provide relevant documents to the defense during this period, a standard procedure in many legal cases, but one that often raises questions about transparency and access to information in immigration enforcement. Both parties are also collaborating to prepare a scheduling agreement before a July 30 deadline. Importantly, Garcia's legal team does not expect this interim delay to affect the scheduled trial date of January 27, 2026. That means, for now, the case remains on track for its eventual day in court. This situation raises larger questions that go beyond one individual's story. In cases like this, where deportation looms over a person while they're still fighting charges in criminal court, is 30 days enough time to safeguard someone's constitutional rights and explore every possible avenue for relief? Some might argue, as immigration advocates often do, that the process moves too quickly, leaving families and defendants scrambling for answers with little recourse. Others may counter that clear rules and timelines are necessary to maintain order in an already overburdened system. After all, the government has procedures to follow, and discretion can only go so far. Where do you stand? Should people in Abrego Garcia's position have more time and resources to navigate the legal labyrinth of immigration and criminal law? Or is the current balance between speed and due process already fair? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, especially if you have direct experience with the immigration courts, or if you simply care about how these issues are handled in your community. The lines between justice, procedure, and compassion aren't always clear, which is exactly why stories like this matter. For more local updates on this case and other news affecting Middle Tennessee, sign up for the Fox 17 News daily newsletter, your morning briefing on the stories shaping your neighborhood.